Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is, well, these are even, because it's a bulk introduction, these are your full moon Gods at Play readings. Now I do the Gods at Play readings because full moons are about oppositions. They are moon opposition sun. They are also about illumination, about light being shed upon things. So they can be very much about revelation. I've made some notes about this particular full moon because let's face it, we've just come off the back of the peak of the Jupiter-Pluto Conjunction, which is playing out in a very interesting way, both in the world and energetically, if you're sensitive to that sort of thing. Certainly I noticed a little something. Little probably being a very patronising and minimising word there. But anyway, moving on. This full moon in Libra is at 18 degrees of Libra, so that is a master degree. Very much about death and rebirth, but being Libra, it's also very much about balance. And the themes that seem to be coming out of the astrologers are the balance between personal freedom and submission to a higher power, whether that be God, the divine, or whether that be governments, corporations, the law, whatever. Balance between your personal life and your relationships, and it's a very relationship themed moon as well, and also balance within, basically with your shadow self. So there's a lot of potential for work for you to be doing with your own shadow side and letting a lot of things go. This full moon in Libra is very much a declaration to act, and you may find yourself doing a complete about face on some belief or another that you have held for a long time, where you suddenly go, you know what, it's not even that I used to be wrong, but now I'm going to do something completely different because what I did think doesn't apply anymore. And it may well be some form of illumination that brings this to the surface. Now, there isn't a question with this reading. We are looking at the energies that are in play. The top row, it takes a very Gnostic view of the gods, seeing them as archontic forces or energies that are pressing us down, that are trying to separate us from our higher purpose, our higher selves. The bottom row of cards will be those forces, gods or energies that are trying to lift us up, that are assisting us to reach towards our higher purpose, our higher self, ascension, if you're into that sort of thing. Now, there's a timestamp, like I said, down below. You can fast forward through all my blurb because you want to look at your sun sign, probably first, which everybody does, but your rising sign as well. And it's a full moon. Look at your moon sign. You can examine other areas of your chart as well. And I will say in the readings which house this is happening in for which rising sign. Anything else, any other details, they're in the description below. Please press like, it helps promote the video. Please subscribe, it helps the channel, and I am very, very grateful. And thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed so far. I think I've only said that in about one video, and I'm slowly approaching 400 videos already, but I'm still a young channel and every subscriber helps. There is a link to a Facebook group down there, so if you want to see maybe slightly more effective notifications than the YouTube notifications of when I release new videos, but also I post all the astrology videos that I am learning stuff from because they're good astrologers and they're well worth a watch, simple as that. And sometimes I post readings from other readers because they deserve the exposure and they're good readers. There is a lot of good readers. Quick plug, Divinely Feminine, Woke Therapist, Jamie Zebra 23, Queen Cup. That was the other one that I wanted to recommend, Queen Cup. I think that's everything. Oh, finally, if you don't know what your rising or moon sign are, there's a link down there. You can get a free birth chart by following that link. You just need to know your time and place of birth as well as your date. So, I think I've waffled enough. With no further ado, let me bring up the cards. And welcome Gemini, rising, moon and other placements from after the timestamp. Now, if you are Gemini rising, this is occurring in your 5th house. So this is fun, romance, and creating things that you are proud of. And creation is definitely a theme in these cards here. You are in the process of creating something, but it feels like I may be bursting your bubble, Gemini, but it is not a new you, because it's for the wrong reasons. It's creating, I mean, in a way it is a new you, but I'm getting the feeling from these cards and these forces that you are wanting to reinvent yourself for some reason. And I believe that this is to put pay to some form of conflict that you may be experiencing, to match some desire that you may be experiencing, that you're wanting to change yourself to fit a circumstance that you want to get into. Get a grip. Sorry, Gemini, but I think I'm always telling you off in your readings, aren't I? But the reason I'm telling you off is because you're not being nice to yourself here. We have as the God forces that are pushing down. So you can look at these, and it might be useful in this instance. None of these forces, the gods, the planets, anything, is external, because we create our own realities by how we're feeling and how we choose to perceive things. However, it is often a useful tool to perceive something as external if you are wanting to combat it, overcome it, or ask for help from it. It is just another aspect of you. But sometimes it's useful for it to be something else as well. We have as the God forces suppressing you, Anubis with protection, Amaterasu with self-esteem, Isis with resurrection, Eris with strife, and Eros with desire. So are you defending something so much that you're either as a result or due to the fact of your self-esteem not being so hot, you're wanting to reinvent yourself to fit some desire or to ease some strife? Whatever this strife is, you can win. Let me see, you're the 3rd reading I'm doing, and all the readings so far for this full moon have been really combative. And I will say, it's not me projecting. I'm not feeling in the slightest bit combative today. But we have this resurrection followed by the self-esteem being a challenge. This protection being a challenge. There are obstacles that are coming to you that are in your favour. These obstacles that are happening are to promote your skills in overcoming them, getting around them, getting through them, getting over them, whatever method that you choose. But you need to be true to yourself. And this is why I was giving you the hard time. We have Animetia here with integrity, directly opposing Isis with resurrection. Considering that that is straight after this self-esteem card, do you really need to be reborn? What's wrong with you that you already have? That you already are? Why don't you let that one shine a bit? Why don't you let that one lead you to victory with Nike here? Why don't you have a new beginning with this one? Don't be... So yes, the positive uplifting forces here. Ganesha with obstacles. Gaia with creation. She's been a popular one so far. Animetia with integrity, I've said, and Nike with victory. And Eos, goddess of the dawn, with new beginnings. And interestingly, from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, redemption with Pahalia. I don't think that now is the time to change yourself. Now is the time to redeem yourself and show that inner strength that you may have been hiding away. Show that inner character, that integrity that you may have been hiding because you've been in the middle of strife or in the middle of trying to change yourself to get hold of something that you desire. These obstacles that are coming in your way between you and what you desire, notice they're right the opposite sides of this reading, are designed for you, one, to question your desire. By the time you get there, will you still want it? But two, if you do, then it's to give you the skills to get it well. And those skills start with the self-esteem. It starts with the flowering of your integrity, the flowering of your own sense of worth, beauty, whatever it is, because it looks like those sides of you seem to have taken a bit of a knock recently. So bear in mind, this Gemini reading is for whoever it's for. It's not for all Geminis. It is for whoever it is for. If you know what I'm talking about, it is for you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's not for you then. Right, let's clarify with some tallow. But interestingly, did I just say tallow? Interestingly, the presiding angel energy over all of this is the angel of forgiveness. I choose to forgive all those who have hurt me in the past. Could it be that a lot of this self-esteem business and the protection business is because you have been hurt in the past, and therefore you've developed some form of coping strategy, which has involved you being a bit chameleon-like? Pack it in, just be you. Just be you. Because I think your coping strategy may be working against you at the moment rather than working for you. It may have worked great up until this point, but it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's probably worked well enough to get you here, but it ain't gonna work getting you onward from here. So yes, because you can have another level with your self-esteem here, but there is anxiety. Right, this strife that's around you, it can go either way. It's not something that you necessarily have power over, but it is something that somehow you can have victory in. The victory may be from walking away yet. Let's see. Oh yes, this is quite beautiful here. Right. So you can have another level. You can level up with the self-esteem business, because trying to protect things has been a source of anxiety for you. But it could also be seen as that you were learning skills of balance. Now, they have been very good and powerful skills for you to learn, and you may need them again, but not in this situation, in this manner. Because beware of false dreams that are that you are being enticed. It almost as if somebody's saying to you, but if only you could be more like this person, then I would love you more, or we could do this, or we could do that. Just ignore all that stuff. Be you. Because, you can have victory in what you desire, but that doesn't offer you the new beginning. And I'm worried that by you achieving what you desire, someone gets a victory over you. And that's worth thinking about. But with Ganesha's obstacles, they are, yes, they're showing you how to protect what is yours in a completely different way, but building up a firm foundation that leads to a new beginning as you start blossoming within you. But you must follow your intuition and realize there is a balance here going on, but the balance is between two aspects of you. Once you get that balance perfect, you will manifest victory that is ignorant of whatever all this stuff on the top is. Absolutely ignorant of it. I could take those two readings out and say, right, those two cards on their own, what a wonderful reading. And that is what you've got to, Victory and the Queen of Wands with manifestation, that is what you've got to look forward to if you work out different ways to protect things and abandon the old ways of protecting things. You are protecting things with Ganesha and the obstacles in new ways because they're just common sense. The old ways were a bit more anxiety driven and fear driven, and you ain't got time for that. If you are looking for your own redemption, there's only one person that you need to redeem yourself before, and that's you. You have to redeem yourself in your own eyes and in your own heart. And you may find that you're actually cutting out a lot of stuff as you start a new beginning, and that's fine, because it's almost, I mean, I always feel like this Queen of Swords is in some form of ice realm in this card, but I've also got the feeling of she's on a spotlight in like a 1920s big band dance stage, and she's there with her glittering dress coming out on stage and going ta-da, you know. So there is a wonderful new eruption for you, and you can claim the victory, follow your intuition, but be true to who you are, not what you think you should be so that someone else approves of you, or allowing them to have a victory of you. Or I've forgotten what the or is. It's disappeared out of my head, so it couldn't have been that important. But that angel of forgiveness, right next to the desire, I choose to forgive all those who have hurt me in the past. If you stop trying to match their expectations, they ain't going to hurt you anymore. So, chances are that's a relationship reading, but it could just be a relationship between you and some aspect of a person in your mind, not even a real person, like a grandparent who's passed, or an ex-partner who you haven't seen for years, or something way back when in your history, but you've got their shadow in your mind. And they're like this. Because you're not good enough. You're not doing it right. You're not chasing after what you desire. You're not being what I want you to be. All of those sort of statements. Just be you already. You know, cut that stuff away and release it. And that is something that I think is the full moon in Libra energies will offer you. So I hope this makes sense for you. If it does, comment down below. Press subscribe while you're there. Oh, I've given you the like, share, subscribe speech anyway, haven't I? So your next readings that will be coming out will be your monthlies over the next few days whenever I get them done. All right? Cheers.